Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. We're here for the United show. I'm joined by Cian and RJ. How are we both doing?
Grant, I'm in curfew, lad, so do pray for me. The government
I'm good,
are on
thank
me.
you.
He's only just found that out from us.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I just didn't
it's
know
quite,
that.
it's quite symbolic that Mason Greenwood is intro, because it is Mason Greenwood that we are going to be spending quite a bit talking about, because there's a lot to this. Apparently Arsenal are looking at him, and if he went to, the first question I want to sort of get it out there. RJ, I'll start with you. If Mason Greenwood, and just say if, don't answer back, don't add anything to this, just answer the question.
Okay.
If Mason Greenwood went to Arsenal and won them a Premier League title by scoring 25 plus goals in a season, very much like Robin Van Persie did for you guys, what would you be saying? Because I'm presuming there would be an absolute onslaught of where the hell is Ragnick. And I'm sure the Glazers will actually have to go out of Old Trafford this time, because if not, they're probably going to burn the flaming thing down, because, you know, that wouldn't quite be the best situation. Mason, one of your generational talents, winning the Premier League with Arsenal.
Okay. I mean, first and foremost, it is if.
Funny.
Like I said, it is if, because let's be real, Mason Greenwood does have standards for a football club, and obviously Arsenal will never meet them. Let's be real. Like I said, 8th 2 seasons in a row, and apparently they're going to guarantee 4th place, which, like I said, I don't know if they're good at maths or anything like that, but that's not how things work. So, I don't think Greenwood would leave. But like I said, in a multiverse, like I said, I did watch the recent Spider-Man film. Like I said, in a multiverse, maybe that shit happens, but in the real world, not a chance. Not a chance.
But how would you feel if that did genuinely happen?
Don't know.
I think that face just does it. Going, it would be like, activate Twitter. I'm not coming on Niall's channel anymore.
Oh, 100%,
it's like, get me away from social media.
Like,
but what about you, Cian? Mason Greenwood goes to Arsenal, wins him a Premier League title. How would you be feeling?
Well, if that did happen, I don't believe that it will happen, but if it did, I'd be very hurt, first of all, obviously. I can't see it happening, though. All I could say is lay the blame with the board and the Glazers, and not at Mason Greenwood, and even to an extent not at Ralph Rangnick, because it's not all of their responsibility to keep everyone happy.
No, it was just whoever's stupid idea it was to get Cristiano Ronaldo in when you're not challenging for a Premier League title. Like, if we're being real, like, I love Ronaldo's obviously a world-class player and he will always be, the greatest player of all time. But if you're not going to challenge for a Premier League title, what was the effing point? Like, let's just be real. You might as well have just given that game time to Greenwood, allow him to develop. And I don't know, let Ronaldo go City. He'll destroy his own career. As the United fans will make it perfectly well known to Cristiano Ronaldo exactly what he's just done wrong. But Kenny, we'll just and Cian and RJ did answer the question, so I expect you to answer it and not divert. But in this scenario, let's say we're playing Sim City but real life. Mason Greenwood is just transferred to Arsenal. He's scored 25 plus goals, a bit like Robin Van Persie did for you guys. What is your reaction if he wins them the title? Or who do you blame?
Who would I blame? Ooh, I'd blame. It's tough to answer the question. I'd blame. There's multiple people you blame.
You can blame more than one.
You have to be honest.
Say it, Kenny. Jesus Christ, above me.
I'm thinking about it. I think you have to blame.
Well, I'm guessing you'd blame Glazers. I'm guessing they would be the first to get blamed.
Glazers
because they vote. Yeah.
Glazers and honestly probably Ralph Ragnick, because I think if he were to go to Arsenal, it'd be because Ralph Ragnick wouldn't give him game time and he'd fall out with Ralph Ragnick.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. That's why I think he'd want to leave, because surely there's a fact to him when he'll even go to Arsenal.
Yeah.
So
big up to Cardessler. Yeah. Big up to Cardessler. YouTube. Big up to JB in the chat as well. DC says breaking. Aston Villa are set to sign Mason Greenwood on loan in January. That would make no sense at all. Big up to Sean. I'm eating a full box of heroes. It is Christmas time. Breaking news: Liverpool are close to agreeing a fee with Manchester United generational talent Mason Greenwood via Romano. I don't think Romano is quite said
everything about that statement was just horrendous. Like, just like
yeah. But the thing is, and I suppose we'll go through the report in the Daily Mail, and when I say Daily Mail, you probably have to take the Daily Mail with some credibility here, because wouldn't tend to the Daily Mail aren't clickbait. If it was a red top, I'd throw this in with the trash, but it's why I'm actually thinking this could happen, because if the Daily Mail were reporting, God knows. But we will go through the report. But a lot of Premier League sides are suffering with a lack of strikers. Well, good strikers. I mean, Liverpool are probably going to want to replace Firmino at some point. City definitely need a striker. Chelsea have just spent £100 million on Romelu Lukaku and got a box full of shit. I don't know if we should class Arsenal as a big team, but they've got no Aubameyang and Lacazette's leaving. So, I just want to be fair to Arsenal. I don't want to body him too much, because if Greenwood does transfer over there, I will low-key be an Arsenal fan, and that'll be quite upsetting. But let's go through the report. It says Manchester United are facing problems within ranks regarding Mason Greenwood and the club's talisman Cristiano Ronaldo. The England starlet is seen to be one of the best up-and-coming forwards in world football, though is aware his game time is limited at Trafford because of the presence of Ronaldo. According to El Nacional, Greenwood is set to be upset with his lack of playing time and the fact that Ronaldo will always be the first name on the team sheet. It then goes on to say, thank you, adverts. The report also boldly suggests that Greenwood is not happy with the way the 5-time Ballon d'Or winner has assumed control of the Manchester United dressing room so quickly after returning to the club. That is bold to suggest that, I will say. Greenwood was a permanent fixture in the side under previous boss Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but his future remains less certain under Ralph Ragnick. Thank you, adverts again. Stupid adverts. The German has arrived. Oh, fuck. I swear, the Daily Mail, you need to sort your adverts out. The German has arrived and has been in charge of immediately turning the fortunes of the faltering Red Devils after their poor start to their campaign. It's further reported that Greenwood may even consider his future options, with a series of elite European clubs understood to be closely monitoring his progress. The Premier League rivals Arsenal have set to be linked with it, along with Italian giants Juventus and La Liga royalty Barcelona. I bet you there's also probably more clubs as well. A possible rift between Ronaldo and Greenwood would not be the first instance of such events. The Portugal superstar recently questioned United's younger players ahead of their 5-0 drubbing against Liverpool at Old Trafford, suggesting there was some unrest in the dressing room. Ronaldo said to DAZN, I don't mean only in football. The new generation, since probably 1995, they are thinking different. The life, the football, the struggles, this has to come inside of you. You have to accept sometimes that you don't agree with. After hearing all of that, Cian, this situation has just got even more difficult, because if Greenwood is concerned about game time, which I could probably see, I mean, he has watched Rashford put into very, very below par performances. Something that probably I would be able to muster up for you on a cold night in Norwich if you asked me to. Although he has got more pace than me, I will give him that. But he's watched that, and both times that he's come on in the Sancho role. And I feel like Mason Greenwood now wants to go up front because I feel like that's where he was always naturally meant to go to. I think, he played on the right-hand side, but he was virtually a second striker, wasn't he, of the amount of times he had cut in. So I feel he wants to naturally go up front. Do you think he should be a starter for United at the moment? I mean, it's a tough one, but Rashford has been great.
It's a very tough one, and I'll always favour Rashford over basically any other player, but I can't deny Rashford's performances have been poor. So I would actually drop Rashford for Greenwood, but I'm still not sure whether Greenwood would fit in that sort of role in this system right now, as it's going to require a lot of hard work, a lot of pressing, and do you know what I mean? And a lot of getting used to Ralph Rangnick's system. And Ralph Rangnick is trying to get used to his best 11 at the same time. So I'm still not sure whether Greenwood would fit that instantly. And I do believe with Ronaldo, he can learn.
Do you think with the Greenwood one, it's less of if he's replacing Rashford to his Ronaldo? And that's when the conversation becomes extremely awkward, because then you've got to start discussing, well, when do you drop Ronaldo? Is that the sort of, because Ronaldo is the goal scorer, whereas Rashford is, I don't actually know what Rashford does, I presume run at the moment. So is it more that he takes that Ronaldo spot? And as I said, when that becomes a conversation, it becomes very messy, because it's like your star talent and your generational star talent, which you go for, and it's like, well, which one do you want to upset more?
I feel like rotation is key in a sense of you can't start Ronaldo every game. He's 36, whether he's the healthiest man in the world or not. He's 36 years old, and Greenwood has to start some games. Ronaldo has to start some games, and that's up to Rangnick to decide which game is best to start which player in.
Yeah, it's gonna. We were talking backstage. It's gonna require Rangnick to bring every last bit of his managerial experience to deal with this too, because he's got probably the best players of their generation at either end of their scale. Ronaldo close to the end, and Greenwood at the very beginning. So it's an awkward one. But RJ, what's your view on this, and how do you think Rangnick should deal with this? Because it's not an easy one.
I think not an easy one.
I'm not going to pretend it's easy.
I think obviously Rangnick definitely knew that this was going to be a problem coming into the job. I don't think he was very blinded, to be fair, when taking this job, saying, "Oh, everything will be a piece of cake." I'm joining the biggest club in the world. Obviously, there's a problem with this club. There's many of them, other than the striker position, obviously. But obviously, we won't name names.
There's a long list of problems at United.
Oh, I know. Yeah, trust me. We could be here for the next.
Most of them are upstairs, actually. Well, most of them are upstairs in your boardroom, really. Apart from central midfield
and our defense. To be fair, I think obviously to Victor Lindelof, hope he gets better, because he is. There's rumors that he is not well. So, like I said, big up to the best centre back we have. But other than that, about this scenario. I feel like it's the exact same as the Dean Henderson one. The Dean Henderson, David De Gea one. We're kind of looking at two players who are kind of, one starting his career, one's ending his career potentially. David De Gea, obviously, he's done massive things.
Hold on. I'm gonna have to interrupt here. You haven't just compared Mason Greenwood to Dean Henderson, have you?
I've not. No,
you
I've
haven't
said
just
the
fucking
scenario.
done that.
I've said the scenario.
Right.
I've never said I said the situation, right? Dean Henderson.
Because I was just about to say, I think your goalkeeper after De Gea's performances of late, I don't even think that's actually much of a discussion anymore. I think I ought to probably step back a lot of what I've said.
We had this scenario before, and we got through it, right? De Gea proved that he's a man, and probably Henderson will probably go out on loan probably to next 2 years, maybe. I don't know how long he'll be, but regardless, we fix that scenario. So I don't think any scenario at this club is irreplaceable, but I do think there's always a solution, whether it's a good one or a bad one for this club, right?
Yeah.
Do I want Greenwood to start? 100%. I do think he's a good talent. But how do you take out Ronaldo, though? That's the question. You just can't. And I know Greenwood wants to play the striker role, right? And Rashford has been a bit off form. Sancho, I think, is getting better. He's getting better. He's getting more.
I was just about to say, you can't really take Sancho out either, because Sancho's looked rather decent under Ragnick.
Yeah, and the thing is, you have to understand about Sancho is he just came from the Bundesliga, right? He's had a tough time, but he's proven that with good performances, he's getting those crosses in. He's doing those flashy moves that we all bought him for. Let's be real, they are pretty nice, and we kind of wished we could do them too. But let's be real, lads, we'd probably trip ourselves over if we ever tried. No, but I mean, like I said, it's a tough one. And thankfully, I don't have to make the decision. So we'll see what Ralph has to do. I refuse.
What role are you putting Mason in then? Are you putting Mason in the Ronaldo role, or are you putting him in the Rashford role? Because I do believe different roles within the. Yeah. I feel like Rashford is. Ronaldo's more the poacher, which is essentially what I think Greenwood will be. Although I think Greenwood is probably going to be a bit more advanced striker.
Yeah.
I see Greenwood more as a Robin van Persie than any other striker. I mean, that is the type of player I see.
I see like a mix.
Does that fit in with what Rashford's doing though?
The thing about Rashford, he's an inside forward on the left hand side.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Mixture too. I know he's not, but the thing
but he's playing up front as a second striker, isn't he?
Yeah, that's where
Bruno is operating. Bruno is now operating that sort of left hand inside forward role because of the 4-2-2-2. Bruno and Sancho are now the wider players, and then that means that one of your strikers needs to drop a bit deeper and become the sort of link-up player, which is what I think you need to find that balance. Because who out of Rashford and Ronaldo is going to drop deep, and can they still do that role? Whereas I think Mason Greenwood could do both roles. He could stay up front with and be the striker, or he could drop deep and link things up. That's the sort of issue I see with all of this, really.
Yeah, it is a tough one. It is a tough scenario.
Yeah.
I do think I hope this does get resolved where everyone's happy, but chances of that is not going to be very likely. Let's be real, lads. You know, there will obviously be someone who's going to be upset. Or one thing that we can definitely can say is very good is Martial's leaving. Thank fuck for that. Edison Cavani's leaving. I'm sad to say.
Yeah,
sad to leave Cavani.
Yeah. Sadly, I mean, look, he's getting older, but one.
I don't want to link this with this one as well, but we do know that Greenwood and Cavani have an extremely good relationship, both on and off the pitch. So could that? I'm not saying that. I'm saying that will be the reason Greenwood goes. But do you think that will also link in with Greenwood getting a little bit more down because his mentor is essentially leaving? Because as the last year and a half. Well, no, the last year and a half, Edison Cavani has basically been Greenwood's mentor. I mean, do you not think that will couple in with him not playing with all of this, that Greenwood's now hitting that bump? Because all young players hit that bump. He's now hit that bump. Do you think that Cavani leaving might just make it a little bit harder for him to get through that bump? Or is he going to rely on someone else or gain that? I suppose you've got a sports psychologist in now, so that might help Greenwood as well, because obviously we know he's gone through a lot in his personal life, hasn't he? So
exactly. And I do think realistically that he still has Ronaldo to look up to. I think everyone looks up to Ronaldo at United, and you did even say that once he came into the squad, everyone respected him to the highest ability, which I think is fair.
But do Mason and Cristiano get on? I mean, it could be that they're so similar, because the thing is, it's like me and Charles, right? You know Charles, obviously. If we were in the room We were trained, me and Charles, right?
Yes, I'm joking. I'm
do,
joking. Geez.
if we were permanently with each other working, we'd probably rip each other's heads off because we're so similar. Because we're both loudmouths and we both want it our way, and if we don't get our way, we're gonna sulk. We'll probably end up ripping each other's head off. Do you think that Mason and both being selfish? Because I'm not gonna sit here and say they're not. Both of them are the most selfish players in world football because they back themselves and they know they've got the talent. Do you think they just might not even get on? They might just Greenwood just might not like Ronaldo.
I mean, it's like I said, yeah, selfishness definitely comes into play when it comes to footballers these days because nowadays you have to take care of yourself before anything else these days now. So I do think, I think, like I said, and I even said this about the Portugal team. Like the reason why they didn't do well in the Euros was because it's a team full of egos. Those lads only care about themselves, right? Only care about themselves. That's why you saw Jota take about 200 million shots, and none of them went in because he's a shit bastard. What I'm telling you is, I'm just saying how it is, lads. You know, I don't know. I think it will take time, obviously, because, like I say, you're comparing two players from two different generations of time. Because obviously, Ronaldo's been here since 2002, and Greenwood, has been last few years.
He was born in the 80s, if that helps, RJ. He was born in the 80s.
Oh, I know that.
He was born in the 80s.
Yeah, but he was introduced to this team in 2002. And look, I think eventually we'll see them work together. So that's a good thing. So yeah, I'll end it like that, to be fair, because I think I ran up too much, to be fair. So
that's fine. Kenny, you go through what you want to say. So how do you resolve this situation that we've got? I'm going to leave and come back in again, and hopefully that will sort everything out. So, yeah, Kenny, you talk. I'll be back by the time you finish because you probably got and a for about 5 minutes, right?
Right, I'm going to mute my mic and turn it off because I'm going to have a snooze right now.
I think for now you have to drop Rashford. We've not really seen the Greenwood and Ronaldo partnership apart from one game, which we don't talk about. I think you have to drop Rashford right now because I think right now he's doing really, really poor. And if Rangnick is really this ruthless manager, you have to drop these players no matter how good they've no matter how good they've been previously. You have to drop these sort of players when they're performing poorly. I think next 2 games Rashford has to be dropped, and whether Greenwood and Ronaldo works as a partnership, we'll see. Because we haven't really seen Greenwood and Ronaldo as a partnership, have we? Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you've seen bits. You've seen bits against Atalanta. You saw a few bits between them. They actually linked up quite well against Atalanta. Greenwood was the key for that first goal. It was that pass into Bruno that enabled Ronaldo to have that space and then Ronaldo to do what Ronaldo does. And then the second goal, it was just a bad bit of kicky uppy for Mason Greenwood, keeping the ball in the air to then just sort of gently kick it to Ronaldo so Ronaldo could pelt it home. So I actually thought it linked up quite well, which a lot of people probably look at that game and go, if only we could see a bit more of them two, because if they start getting into a bit of a rhythm, you could say goodnight most Premier League defences, because who do you mark? Do you go to Ronaldo and leave Mason Greenwood on his own, which, by the way, would be a terrible, terrible decision, or do you mark Greenwood and leave Ronaldo on his own, which would be equally as terrible? So it's like that could be quite a dangerous one.
Yeah, I think Greenwood. I think personally that Greenwood and Ronaldo would work. Of course, it is only one game, and you can't base everything on one game, as we've seen numerous times with a lot of players. But I do think it would work, and it could realistically be a very terrifying partnership. Greenwood and Ronaldo. Of course, we'll see this season, But yeah, I think you have to see in the next few games that actually go ahead for us. I think we'll be able to do.
Don't jump the gun. Don't jump the gun. We'll obviously talk about COVID in a moment because, well, unfortunately for United, they haven't really had much going on apart from coronavirus and Mason Greenwood reports coming out. So we talk about Martial, but we did that last week. Prime says, I'm sorry, did Niall compare him and Charlotte to Greenwood Ronaldo? I did. Big up Joshy in the chat as well. Prime says, Kenny, Cian want to be on Forward Watch tonight.
I'm personally got to be up early at 9 a.m. I'm going to the cinema to see Home Alone, so I'll pass on that offer, but thank you.
Wait, which Home Alone though? Which one?
It's the original one. I've actually never seen it before. Never.
I feel bad for your childhood, don't worry. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
that is a
equally bad.
masterpiece.
You are gonna.
It is a masterpiece.
You are gonna have the greatest hour and a half, 2 hours of your life. Is what a film!
Looking forward to it.
Kenny, do you want to go on Forward Watch tonight?
I might
Arsenal slander. Arsenal slander is always acceptable, so you will just be able to body Arsenal players and fans and the club. Even Liverpool. Prime hates Liverpool as well, so
maybe we'll see. You can send me the link and then
Kenny will be there. Kenny, if you'll be available, what are you going to be doing at 11 p.m. at night? He's getting his bitches on, isn't he? That's what he's doing. What?
All I could say, if
what,
I've
11
seen
p.m. at night.
11 p.m. at night.
Yeah, some of them do have late ones.
Fucking hell! What the fuck?
Are
you sure it's the real Spider-Man? Or
tomorrow is the day. I'm so excited. Some stupid stuff have happened. Ready to be distracted by some football. Well, hopefully there's football tomorrow. Hopefully we can all pray.
I need for the fans. Come on, boys.
We don't know. So if Charlotte and Niall and Ronaldo Greenwood, what are RJ and Kenny? Pogba and Phil Jones?
No. This is what we are, right? I'm Roy Keane, and this man is Alfie Haaland.
Brutal. Owen says Greenwood to Arsenal rumours. Had to check if it's April yet. Well, you never know. Jacob Ramsey is the best youngster in the league by far. Argue with your microwave. Shut up, TC. There's just a lot of comments about nothing here. Now, Pulisic in his interview said he prefers Prime Lukaku over Prime Drogba, but he's clueless and absolutely clueless. Chelsea fans are fuming. I can imagine. Home Alone is great. It is a great one. It is great. Big up everyone in the chat. Hope you're all well. And Kenny, Spider-Man. Oh my Lord, Jesus Christ! I don't know if that is a spoiler, but
Wait, hold on.
But last question.
I don't know if you've seen that. I posted some spoilers and got absolutely ruined for it on Twitter.
I was so close. Like I saw it on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I could have legit said one thing, and people would have come for me like pun from my head. Seriously, I could have said, and I could say it now, but I choose not to because I do value my own life and I do want to survive. So, but no.
So the last question on this one before we do move on and talk about a more joyful subject like COVID-19, who would you want to, if you had to, who would you want to annoy most, Ronaldo or Greenwood? Cian, we'll start with you. If you had to annoy one, who are you annoying? Oh, bloody hell, what? So a year and a half is worth it. Oh, that. Greenwood to Chelsea or Liverpool. Here we go. That would be
I think
RJ?
He's been upset before. Oh. Sorry, he's been upset before, and I think he will end up getting over it.
He's been upset before. This time he goes, here's my transfer request. I've had enough.
Hopefully not.
Brutal.
I would probably.
RJ, what about you?
I'd probably go for Greenwood in the process of getting you pissed off as well. So you gotta love it.
So you would want to see Greenwood pissed off go to Liverpool, which wouldn't actually piss me off because I'll find that absolutely hilarious.
He just wouldn't go
and
to
win
Liverpool
league
because
titles.
Liverpool wouldn't pay his wages or
We-
pay his transfer fee.
He's not exactly on high wages at the moment. I think he's on like 60 grand a week.
Yeah, no, that's because he's an academy player for United. All academy players get lower than players who come in.
He signed a new deal last year. He definitely wasn't in your academy last year, mate. He was in your first team.
Yeah, no, yeah, but same as Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay gets like 30k a week, I swear, and he's a starter for us.
That's because Scott McTominay is just thankful that he's allowed to play football at Old Trafford.
No. I'll defend McTominay forever.
Yeah, McTominay.
I think he's a great player, but I think he's a good player. But let's be real, Scott McTominay hasn't quite got the checkers of Mason Greenwood, so therefore, McTominay,
I'm sorry.
Probably is just happy walking out.
Scott McTominay scored more outside goals than Greenwood.
We're really going to have this debate.
No, I don't think we should. But anyway,
you want to talk about the finishing of Mason Greenwood and Scott McTominay? Are you sure you want to go down that route? Is that the hill you want to die on, RJ?
I mean, fuck it. You know what I mean.
Moving on, Kenny. Who would you want to get more annoyed, Ronaldo or Greenwood?
You know what? It's like 20 years versus 2 years, so I have to say Ronaldo. And it's not because of any Ronaldo hate. I just think Greenwood was much longer, much more long term. But it's so hard.
Yeah.
Can I just say, Kenny, that may actually be one of the smartest things. That may actually be one of the smartest things Kenny's ever said. Because I do feel that, and not saying that what Cian and RJ said was wrong, because it is all about different opinions. But for me, you probably would want to annoy Ronaldo more than Greenwood, because firstly, Ronaldo will get over it because he's older, and secondly, Greenwood is more of a longer term solution than Cristiano Ronaldo, and when you think of it that way, you probably do to Ronaldo more. Which, it's ideally you will annoy neither of them and you'll keep everyone happy and everyone will love each other and you'll win the title. But, I'm also going to lose about 10 stone, gain abs and pecs and become the sexiest man in the UK. So we've all got ambitions of our own. But moving on to something a little bit more joyful, let's talk COVID-19. Or do you want to do Norwich first? Which would you prefer to do? Do you want to? I'll let you decide. Do you want to do the joyful COVID-19 or do you want to talk about the Norwich performance? Because neither is really great. Let's do Norwich. It's a bit more of an upbeat. I could tell a
joke here that probably would get me cancelled, but I'm going to refrain.
Let's do Norwich first. I feel like Norwich is a little bit more joyful because you did get 3 points in the end, but. Cian, what did you make of the Norwich performance? And mind you, your players did have an entire week to perform for this showdown against Norwich. They were training separately. They didn't play against young boys, so they can't blame that. Well, we were tired. But what did you rate it as? Because I watched it and oh boy,
I don't think we were.
I think I've seen our goal
bad. I don't think we were bad. I honestly don't. And when I say I don't think we were bad, if you look at the performance against Watford under the previous manager, and then if you look at some of the performances that we put in this season where you say that is an absolute mess, and I just personally don't think it was that bad. I feel like the players knew exactly what they wanted to do, but just couldn't perform. And we need to remember that this was also around 3 to 4 days just before things started to get real with coronavirus in the Premier League, so you don't know who was positive during playing on that pitch, and who tested positive and who tested negative, and who managed to catch it during on the pitch and stuff like that. So I feel like that could have been a factor into play as well. I don't think we were that bad. I feel like we were lucky to get the 3 points in the end because they had a few big chances, but it was a big 3 points.
Yeah, no, I hear that. What about you, RJ?
Yeah, I agree with Cian. I think we were really unlucky with pretty much our whole chances, but I do think we have to understand the fact that a certain Billy Gilmore on that Norwich team played unreal that game, and he genuinely controlled that midfield. But do I think we kind of underestimated Norwich? Yes, I do think we did. We kind of thought it was just going to be a walk in the park, an easy time to go to Carrow Road, if that's the stadium. Can't remember. And just get the 3 points easily.
You're not very good with stadiums, are you?
No, I'm not actually. No, like I said, whenever I go to England,
It is Carrow Road, though. You are correct.
All right, let's go. 3 points in the bag. Let's go, boys. No, I do think. People were complaining that it was a soft penalty. I mean, look, listen, it's a penalty is a penalty. If you get taken down, any contact. I mean, fucking Max Aaron's tried taking him down, jiu-jitsu style. Fucking hell, like, to be fair. And like I said, we got a penalty, so that's what I'm saying. So we got all 3 points. Not our best performance, but we move. I think hopefully all the players get better. Like I said, Victor Lindelof hopefully gets better genuinely, because I didn't think it was as serious at first, but it got, apparently it's pretty bad. So prayers out to him, and hopefully he gets better.
Yeah, he's got a heart monitor on and knee checking his heart, seeing what's going on.
Yeah.
But obviously we wish Victor all the best. I actually think he's been having quite a good season for you. I think he's sort of low key gone under the radar, one of your best performers.
I literally said that he's our best defender this year, genuinely, because he's been consistent, he's been competent, and he's also been a good leader for this defense. Unlike other people, which we shall not mention, because.
Well, I was just about to say, if you were to split the defense in half, obviously, Bissaka's not been awful. He's been average, I would say.
He's been awful.
I mean, there was times where he got better, but I think with the injury of Varane, that's where he went downhill, I think, because Varane kind of helped him out a bit more.
Yeah.
But I think Varane, essentially, we brought him in, right? He got injured. We brought him back way too early. We did a Liverpool.
Should the right back of Manchester United need babysitting by his right-sided centre-back? Because I could never imagine Gary Neville needing babysitting by Rio Ferdinand. Could you imagine the scenes?
But not if you were playing with fucking Harry Maguire, and Bailly, for God's sake, God forbid, I would need some therapy for the next few years.
Crystal Palace wouldn't take Aaron Wan-Bissaka back.
Oh, definitely not.
He wouldn't. It's not good enough for them, and he's not good enough for us.
And the thing is, I personally think, right, genuinely, we do need a few players in the summer, and even in January as well. I still think right back still needs a position,
I
completely agree. I think
I have a few options.
Looking at United,
and none are English.
We've already done.
I know.
Yeah, Tariq Lamptey, Max Aaron's one of them two would do quite
Nordi
well.
Mukulele.
Yeah, I mean, anyone other than Wan-Bissaka, really, I think is probably just anyone but Wan-Bissaka. I mean, I can't remember who called it the Wan.
Yeah, oh, sorry.
I don't know who called it the Wamba Shuffle, but it very much is the Wamba Shuffle.
Yeah. No, what I was saying was at least our left back, at least our left back is kind of sort of, to be fair, because we got Telles, we got Brandon Williams, and then Luke Shaw can go cry at Burger King, like he has done for the last few seasons.
We'll talk about Brandon Williams in a minute, because he's actually had a bloody good loan spell. But Kenny, firstly, talk to me about the Norwich performance. Also, Prime says, RJ, don't make me put you on forward watch. Billy Gilmore didn't do it in that game.
If you're going to put
Prime is a Chelsea fan.
Put in Shaw's Nutritious, because clearly he's a fraud.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And DC says, I just spent my Goujon's fuck's sake. Lovely.
Well done, mate. Well done.
But
of course you would do that.
Kenny, talk to me about the Norwich game.
I thought we played very, very poorly. And by the way, I'm not factoring in the performances under Ollie, because those were not United performances. I'm just wiping those out. I'm just ignoring those. It was a very, very poor performance. If it was a better team than Norwich, it was a mid-table team, I'd say it was an okay performance. But because it's Norwich versus Man United, that's what makes it a poor performance for me. Pookie missed quite a few chances for them. De Gea I mean, I'll give it to you, RJ. To be honest, I was probably wrong about De Gea. To be honest,
You're wrong about many things, mate. But yes, I accept your apology. I accept your apology.
But yeah, I actually thought McTominay was probably one of our better players. I actually thought he was quite good at the game, and he didn't get that much credit for it. But I did think he was quite good. The penalty decision, I thought was a penalty, to be completely honest with you. And here's a weird stat for you. Every time we faced Dean Smith, we've gotten a penalty. It's literally every time we played him, we've gotten a penalty, and all of them have been controversial. Which is
as a former referee, there was nothing controversial about what Max Aarons did. Man tried playing judo with Cristiano Ronaldo on a football pitch. He's full blown trying to put him on the mat. Like, I love Max Aarons as much as next person. I think he's brilliant. I think he's got a lot of talent. What's happened is he's lost Ronaldo. Why he's marking Ronaldo, I'll never know. But he's lost Ronaldo and he shat himself. Dylan says, great to see you back on the show that speaks and loves Martial's ability. I'm not sure that's true.
Martial has undoubtedly got ability, but he's one of the laziest players at the club. I'd say he's the second laziest player at the club. So I just want him gone at this point.
You don't realise
who's the laziest?
Sorry,
Pogba?
what did you say?
Who's the laziest?
Pogba.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Luke Shaw.
I think, honestly, Pogba's pressing stats at least.
That's all people pull out at this point.
Kenny,
Oh, yeah, but Martial.
Kenny, nice Christmas tree. Did you do it yourself? United fans are so deluded, especially RJ last season. He was saying he was the best effort. Now he's gone back to Burger King. Why is Williams sort of a left back option when he is a right footer? Well, that's an interesting one, and I do know the story behind it.
Okay.
So essentially, when Brandon Williams was coming through the youth academy, he was also coming through the youth academy at the same time. Someone called Ethan Lay, who was also very good at right back. So, and United didn't really have any good young left backs coming through. So Brandon spent most of his time playing as an inverted left wing back instead of playing as a right back. So there's that. But you've actually linked me in almost perfectly to what I want to talk about, which is Brandon Williams, because he is still a United player. Obviously, you've just played Norwich and he couldn't play against you. But Cian, how much of Brandon have you been able to see? Because he is a Manc, he is born and bred. So I'm guessing that should instantly give him a bit of love. And when someone is willing to chuck Callum Hudson-Odoi into the stands at Stamford Bridge, I suppose that almost puts you into Manchester United royalty of probably someone like Gary Neville.
Yeah, something like that. And from what I know, Brandon Williams is also from an area in Manchester called Clayton, which if you're from there, a lot of people know you as a sort of a bit of a nutter. And that's what we love him for. He is a bit of a nutter and he's a bit off his head. But I think he can be the backup left back or even right back. I think he can. I think he's done well at Norwich, and I've seen the Norwich fans. There's very few that I've seen, but I've seen Norwich fans praising him and saying he's tenacious, he does this, and he works hard, and he's done well for us, and he's one of the best left backs I've ever seen at our club personally. And obviously, they don't get many great left backs there, do they? Do you know what I mean? So I personally would take him back.
Yeah, he's certainly, you can tell he's a bit of a nutter. And do you know what? He's tackling. I'm going to, everyone talks about Wan-Bissaka and tackling. Wan-Bissaka, I would argue that Brandon Williams has potentially got better tackling than Wan-Bissaka, because not only is his positioning a little bit more on point, his tackles are normally spot on. I mean, there was one that he did whilst he's on a booking in the penalty area, and I'm like, Brandon, Jesus Christ, don't do that, man. Like, because I love Brandon. But he got it inch perfect, and that's the thing. I think he's been absolutely fantastic. Robbie says, as good as Martial is, I don't think he is a Man U quality player would be suited to mid-table Prem. Interesting. But Dylan says my United team next season. De Gea, Shaw, Varane, Lindelof, Laid, Fred, Hadara, Bruno, Martial, Ronaldo, Sancho. Oh, well, if you're going to leave Greenwood out, Martial is a piece of shit and he's absolutely shocking at football. There you go. Brandon is better at positioning, but tackling AWB is clear. Well, you clearly haven't watched Norwich this season, but RJ.
This is what I would say about
Kenny, your name is not RJ. Your name is Kenny. Or when you're being an absolute twat, Kenneth. But RJ, talk to me about Brandon Williams this season.
Yeah, I do think this Norwich deal that we did, where he goes over and play games, it was a success. It was definitely a success. Obviously, the main aim was to get Brandon used to the Premier League more, gets used to the physicality of the game, because like I said, he was never going to get into the first team, obviously, this season with the talent that we have right now. However, he has shown good potential that he can step up, right? Yes, it was for Norwich, right? And look, we also had another player who did well with a shit club like Dean Henderson, right? But I do think that with the left back scenario that we have, look, we do have Telles, right? And I do think Shaw is probably going to be finished with the way that Ragnick talks about him. I kind of like Ragnick for that as well. No, anyway, what I was saying was that I do think
it's like Jose Mourinho, but with manners. He's like Jose Mourinho, but with manners.
We all criticize Jose for being like ruthless, but like we never really give him the credit when he's actually right. That's the weird thing. So sometimes he is right. To be fair, he was right about Ali. He was right about Pogba. He was right about a load of players. But anyway, my point is that
I don't think he was right about Shaw. I think he publicly bullied Shaw, and there's a difference between publicly criticising and publicly bullying someone.
But the thing is, Shaw is the reason why Ollie lost his job, in my opinion. Shaw underperformed.
I'm sorry. You can't just blame. I'm sorry. You cannot just put every damn result on Luke Shaw. Your captain needs to take a good slice of that off him.
No, I know. Slabhead does deserve a bit of criticism. I agree, but
and I'm not gonna lie, Bruno probably were taking a slice of the pie as well, because he wasn't exactly brilliant before Ragnick got in, but he's actually still not even playing brilliant. So why is Kenny? I've absolutely no idea. It's just Kenny doing Kenny style things.
He likes the attention, obviously. So.
I'm not.
Dylan says, "No, if you watched AWB." 2 years, his challenges are top notch. However, he's been crap this season, of course, but doesn't know how to play football. You've just left Mason Greenwood out of next year's team, so I'm not sure I trust your footballing opinion anymore. And Chris says, "Niall, are you sorry for yesterday? Am I fuck? Your cousin came onto the channel yesterday." Was mouthing us having a rainbow flag as the scoreboard, which is for the LGBTQ community. I blocked him and then his other ultra accounts for, being also homophobic and calling me fat. So no, I'm sorry for yesterday, and I maintain that if any of them do come back to the channel, they'll just instantly get blocked. So no, I apologize for absolutely fucking nothing. Deal with it. I'm sure Conor McGregor said that one time. Niall, he was having a mess. Are you sure, Chris? Are you sure? I think you've got that wrong, mate. Yeah, he didn't mean it. I don't give a shit if he meant it or not. He said it in the first place. Like, that's like if I was to be racist down the street, or I didn't mean it. Well, you still said the words and they still came out of your mouth. So yeah, But RJ, carry on. What were you saying?
Yeah, just to finish it up, because like I said, we do want to hear the intellectual ability of Kenny on his footballing knowledge. I know that didn't make sense, but it is Kenny, so he'll find a way to fit past him. I do think next season we'll see a lot more Brandon Williams in a red shirt in Manchester. And no, I'm not talking about Salford. I am talking about United. So I do think it'll be a good season for him next season. So can't wait for him to come back.
Chris says, "No, what do you mean? Deal with it. You have nothing to do for a living. A lazy fucking shit who needs a camera to make money." Wow. Do you know what, Chris? Thanks for all the support you've given the channel, but you have officially just been blocked. Goodbye. By the way, I actually have a job, so unlucky. But Kenny, go on, give us a chat about Brandon Williams, of course.
From what I've seen of Brandon Williams, I think he has been very, very good for Norwich. He looks at a very, very promising talent, and you have to think this is the Premier League with the Norwich side who's struggling with bottom of the league right now. I believe this is a really bad Norwich side, and honestly, he's really been one of the shining lights of it this season. He could honestly be Norwich's best player of the season so far, I think, from what I've seen. And I think definitely next season he'll definitely get a lot of playing time. Because I think I think he can definitely get in over Shaw. And I think Tellez and Wan-Bissaka and Dallo and another Rabbit if we get one in. I think he'll get played. I think he could rotate with Tellez. Because I think Williams can suit a Ragnick type play. Because Ragnick's very hard pressing, you know what Ragnick is. And I think someone like Brandon Williams, who's really good at tackling, really good at positioning, when it's in that defensive unit, will the security defense basically. I'm really bad at explaining things, but yeah, I think he would definitely work very, very well in a Ragnick system. And
you can stop there because I think we just about get the point. He would fit a Ragnick system. He is quick. He's a pacey lad. He's got a bit about him, which will help. The highlight. He quite likes to tackle. And to be honest, there's always been that question mark, hasn't there, around Tellez's defensive sort of abilities. There's always been that question mark. Now, I'm not about to sit here and say that Tellez can't defend because I think, he's been a part of a team that's kept 2 clean sheets under Ragnick. So that would be utterly stupid to say. But there has been those question marks and they'll get answered towards the end of the season. And you never know, Ralph might, or whoever it may be, Ralph or Ten Hag or whoever it may be as manager next season, maybe Brandon Williams can go, I quite like his tenacity. I quite like his ability to absolutely destroy someone. I'll put him in at left back, or heck, he'll go at right back. You just never know, do you? I will send Tyler the link if any problem. Dylan says aerobic endurance is the ability to supply oxygen nutrients to a body over a long period of time, which evidently is lacking through the lackluster performances of Rashford. Thank you, Mr. Scientist.
I didn't know this was a fucking biology question.
I have absolutely no idea what you've just said, but
it's science.
It sounds pretty intelligent.
I hated science.
Yeah, I was never very good at science.
Science is awful.
I was absolutely.
I don't like biology.
Applied sciences are like the forensic science and stuff like that. I was good at that, but biology, chemistry, physics, not my thing. But the last thing that we need to talk about is BSE coronavirus and COVID-19 and what impacts this could have to the Premier League. And I had a long chat with the Chelsea boys, so I'm absolutely delighted that we got 2 shows on today because I just love talking about COVID. It's incredible. I love talking about it. It's my favourite topic.
Oh, dear Christ.
Cian, I'll start with you. It's not my favourite topic for anyone actually wondering. But in terms of coronavirus, you've obviously got a load of cases within United. Your games against Brentford and now Brighton have both been postponed. This summer, we've got a very quick turnaround because the World Cup is in the winter next year. So if Ralph doesn't stay on, you've got a new manager coming in with the Premier League season probably ending later. The new season starting earlier to accommodate the World Cup in the winter. You got the Nations League. Yeah, you'll have the Nations League final at the end of. You have the final and all of that at the end of next summer.
No, sorry, not next
physically.
Summer,
Well, yeah, you know what I meant. At the end of that season, summer, you have the Nations League final. It's quite complex. But what we do? Should we go into a 2-week circuit breaker, whatever they call it? Do we need to play football behind closed doors again? what do we do? Because we have to try and get this season finished as quickly as possible to allow the players just a little bit of time to go on holiday before we drag them back for pre-season early because of FIFA World Cup. Thank you, FIFA.
Well, it's a very difficult situation, obviously. I did a podcast myself on Tuesday, and I was talking to, funnily enough, it was my mum's partner that was on, and I was talking to him about it. And at that point, it weren't obviously as bad as it is now. And it's got worse and worse and worse every single day. And we, as a country, are now going to be at the point, Monday, it's predicted that we're going to be at the point of 100,000 cases per day in the country. And the whole of football is basically getting it. Now, I don't know whether I'm being a pessimist on this situation or whether I'm just being realistic. What I personally think will happen is a 2-week circuit break and then football played behind closed doors, which I personally don't mind rather than no football at all, because last season games were on, for example, on Saturday at 12 p.m., 3 p.m., 5:30 p.m., and then 8 p.m. all on TV. And that, for me, helped my mental health a lot. And I assume it will have done for a lot of other people. So that's what I do hope happens, it like from a bad situation to try and turn it into a slightly good situation. Obviously, it's nowhere near ideal, but we've got to work with what we've got at the moment.
I must admit, all of the football, all 10 games per weekend on the TV, I was in my element, boys, because
I loved it.
The thing is, I was like, the situation was a shitty situation for everyone who goes outside. I'm not included in that. I don't really go out often, but so I'm not too bothered by it. But watching all 10 games a weekend, I was loving life. I was like, football on 12. My TV would be on from night football. We'd be having the Friday night football as well. So you had, I'd watch it on from the TV. Would be football basically from Friday night all the way until Monday night. It was absolutely brilliant. And that's when actually this channel started. I think second lockdown. I think we started, or God knows what. So got a lot to thank for coronavirus. You won't hear me say that often. But, Prime says on the Chelsea show we had gave quite sensible situation. Good luck, you friends you have, Kenny. But RJ, I'll go to you next. In terms of the situation with COVID, what do you do?
Obviously, I'm not in England, thank God, obviously, but where I'm from, like I said, we're also in a shit position as well. So, but my opinion on what the Premier League should do, I think I do agree with Cian. 2 weeks of just no football, and then just everyone closed doors. I think the safety of the players and the safety of people has to be taken first, I think, regardless of whether people want to go to the stadiums. Newsflash, we have to control this virus. I know obviously it probably will be here for the longest yard, or whatever the fuck we want to say. But the main thing is if we can somehow control it. And like I said, I personally enjoyed watching 10 games every weekend on my couch, and having a bit of fun talking to friends as well on my PS4. Like I said, I had great fun during the lockdown. And I do think without football, I think a lot of people mentally would have been upset and lonely and all that. And I think that's the thing.
I'm gonna love all the watch-alongs we'll be able to do again.
Oh, I know you.
Amazing. We're gonna have like 5 or 6.
I'll join in some if I'm invited.
Yeah.
You'll
be always invited.
Go for it. We'll get it. We'll get a United watch along for some of your games. They're always fun. Gotta love a watch along.
Yeah, no, like I said, I do agree with what Cian says. I think, like I pretty much quoted everything, but just said it my own little way. But obviously, the person to my left, it'll be very interesting to see what he says. Because God forbid we don't know what he's going to say. So just to end it, I think. I think it's just best to think about people in general and not think about money, revenue, or just greed in general. So, and that does include revenue.
So, Kenny, all those things that RJ mentioned, the greed, the selfishness, that's all the things you believe in. I can quote you saying that who gives a fuck about the players, just get me my football. Did you say that?
I can vouch for that. I can vouch for that. I can definitely
No,
vouch for that.
I never said that.
100. No, Kenny,
I'm joking.
it is written in stone. This man has said.
I'm joking before anyone goes nuts to Kenny. We should have asked Kenny first. That way he can't copy off what everyone else said. It's not a bloody exam, but
to be fair,
maybe it's good if. Right, but go on, Kenny. Go on. Give us those intelligent thoughts with inside your head.
I think, and it's not. I don't think they will do this. But you're gonna say I'm copying, but I think they should have a few weeks break. And everyone's gonna say,
"Oh my!" Okay, it's exactly what we said. What is different?
I'm not copying.
No, you didn't copy. You just said it slightly different and just put your name on it.
This is what I think should happen. Genuinely, this is what I hate about coming last, because everyone's gonna think that I copied off you. But no.
Well, maybe, Kenny. Maybe when you're original, they won't ever.
I was original. I just came last.
Well,
to be fair, it's fine. It's fine to agree with Cian and everything he said, because I also equally agree. I think ultimately there should be a circuit breaker, and then we should go back behind closed doors, and Sky should fill me with all the football that I require. Essentially, Sky, BT, BBC, Amazon Prime, you all have a job to do. Now go do it.
Yep.
That's our football.
To be fair, Amazon Prime, all right.
You were so good with the.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Although the lockdown, the cheeky bastards did try sliding through the Super League, so we best be very much aware of that, fellow YouTubers. That yeah.
Wink.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Who was that? I don't know.
The same twat that had a go at me earlier, so I just blocked him.
I mean, he does know that he's giving us views.
He's definitely not Chris, let's be honest here.
Yeah. But no, I mean, they tried sneaking in a Super League last time, so let's be careful of that one. But no, on that note, that very, very good note. Next week, what's going to happen? Obviously, it is Christmas, so I don't know what's happening. We'll see if we actually have a show next week. If we don't, I don't really know, as it is on Christmas Eve. So we'll just play it by ear. We have a community tab, but we'll use that if we need to and let everyone know what we're doing. But on Christmas Day, we are doing that watch along. As I said, I'm seeing my lovely family in the evening. Best be drunk before I get there. So I'll see them in the evening. So during the day, we're going to do a little bit of a watch on, because not everyone has got someone. Stokes, just go away, mate. You've done my head in and been rude one too many times. But as I was saying, on Christmas Day, not everyone has got the ability to be with someone or have company or be with people. So we are going to do a virtual thing where we're going to watch a couple of games. I'm going to get absolutely pissed live on YouTube, which is going to be brilliant. And yeah, it's basically, it's definitely not the first time we did drinking games between Ukraine, Austria and North Macedonia, which was fun. That was brilliant. I just want to say I lasted the entire stream.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Maybe not quite standing, and maybe I wasn't quite doing the balls in the second half, but Matt bailed at half-time. So that stream is still on YouTube, I believe. It is the Austria North Macedonia one from the Euros.
So you're telling me that Matt is really 0-2 right now after what happened? Matt's 0-2. He lost to you and lost that guy in boxing.
Yeah. I drank him under the table and he got knocked out in boxing. It's brilliant. Doing such a good job. Just so people know, Forward Watch tonight will be interesting. Someone will be on Greenwood's case and it isn't me before Niall says anything. who the fuck is on Greenwood's case? Because I will defend him to hill and back. So whoever it is going to, they best have facts and arguments, because I will bury the fucker for sure. There you go, United lot. I've got you back on this one. But Cian, where can they find you, mate?
Football Obsession on YouTube. I did a stream today. The connection issues weren't great on that stream, so just bear with me. Also, FTBL OBS on Twitter.
Yeah, don't worry about connection issues. If they're on my channel, they've seen all of the connection issues you could possibly have. But RJ, what about you, mate? Where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me someplace on the internet, to be fair. It's not hard to find me these days anymore. No, I'm joking. You can find me on Robotic Jaguar. I know my name is not, you can't really find it, but yeah, Robotic Jaguar, all social media is pretty much Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all that. Definitely not Snapchat. That's Dom's app. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, lads.
Perfect. And Kenny?
You can find me at Kenny TV on YouTube. Kenny VT10 on Twitter. You have to request the account, of course. Kenny G90 fan on Twitch, of course. It's all here on my name.
Perfect. But Kenny the City fan.
Whoa, wait.
That's been there the entire time. How did you not realize?
To be fair, it is luckily for Kenny, it's hidden behind our overlay. Luckily for Kenny. Luckily. But on that note, guys, we are gonna on that note, we are gonna wrap it there. Kenny's had a minute. I'm trying to get the video. It's been a great show. We'll be back later. But until next time, thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.